ability in carrying out teaching, research, and consultancy in the area of food processing technology. Today, there are three sessions are scheduled to be conducted using this online platform. Before we get started, I would like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. You will have the opportunity to submit a text question to the today's presenter by typing your question in the chat box. You may send your question at any time during the presentation. We will collect these and address them during the question and answering session at the end of this wonderful session. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Siddharth Madhukar Rao Lokhande sir. He is going to deliver a lecture on connecting food safety with society. He was working as a QA chemist at Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverage Limited, Ambad, Nashik from 2004 to 2005. He was working as assistant professor at a Mukashi College of Food Technology, Karad from 2008 to 2009. And currently, he is working as assistant professor from 2010 to till date. He is having more than 15 years of the teaching as well as the research experience. Dr. Siddharth Locandisa research areas include dairy technology, food preservation, meat, fish, and poultry processing technology, post-harvesting technology, food safety quality, and FSMS as well as the sports. He has successfully guided more than 30 UG students and more than 15 PG students respectively. He is currently he is mentoring more than 10 students under the AFSTI Mumbai mentorship program since 2020. He published more than 22 international as well as the 7 national research papers. He has presented more than 28 papers in the national conferences and attended 11 international conferences. He has attended various seminars and workshops. He worked as a resource person in the conferences, workshops, and exams. He delivered more than 28 expert talks on a various topics. He worked as an expert for interview held at different institutions, colleges, etc., and the universities. He worked as a LIC member for more than 7 colleges. He worked as syllabus committee member of various institutions. He worked as expert examiner for PG students of 4 different colleges. Uh, Please wait for a few minutes. There is one obstacle. I will join with you.
लेक्चर मध्ये करतो थोड्या वेळ.
Lab working is going on. Uh, he published more than 3 books and he is a live member of the FSTI Mysore. He is a live member of the Dairy Technology and Society of the India. NDRI Karnal, Haryana. He is a life member of the Nutrition Society of the India. He is a life member of International Association of the Engineers. He is a life member of IASCS Applied Food and Agriculture Society. He is certified as a Digital Mitra, part of Food Safety Mitra initiative by FSSI. He is a certified trainer of National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development certified trainer and FICSI. He is secretary of the AFSTI Association of the Food Scientists and Technologies India Kolhapur chapter since 2018 to till date. He is working as a training and placement officer since 2013 to till date at the Department of Technology Shivaji University Kolhapur. He is working as a sports coordinator since 2009 to till date at the Department of the Technology Shivaji University Kolhapur. He worked as a coordinator of the STIP on a squash and juice processing technician under the PMVKY, NSDS, and Ministry of the Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Government of the India since 2016 to till date. He worked as NSS officer from 2009 to 2011. He has associated with many universities and institutes for examination related work. He had written more than 4 Marathi articles related to the food science and technology. He worked as a reviewer for JBST Springer. He is actively participating in sports activity as well as the NCC. Now we are all are eagerly waiting for the guidance from the multi-talented and extraordinary resource person, Dr. Siddharth Lokhande sir. Over to you, Dr. S.M. Lokhande sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, may I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Vaibhav Bage, for a brief introduction. First of all, I would like to apologize about the not reaching in time. So already we have late. So without wasting much more time, I'm sorry for inconvenience to everyone because participants are belongs to the various locations of the country and are occupied with their busy schedule. So without wasting much more time, just I would like to say something about this particular topic. Why I have chosen this particular topic, because many more experts, they are having the subject domain specific content, but I thought I should talk on the some certain topics like who those are really needy for the society, right? So without with that intention, I have chosen this topic, and hope so in coming whatever the time I'm getting, in that time I try to convey my thoughts to all the participants. So first of all, I would like to very hearty welcome to everyone for participation in this particular faculty development program organized by our department and Shivaji University Kolhapur and supported by the AICT Atal, New Delhi. Uh, so without wasting much more time, just uh, we see the food safety, it is very can say the need of the time in present scenario. If we look toward the safety concern everywhere, it is highly essential part, and existing regulatory system as well, and everywhere talking about it, but I think there are certain problems about the enforcement. So that's why we see the why the safety or where the safety is initiated. To understand the where is the safety is get initiated, that is very important. Everywhere we are talking about once the things are reaching at the receiving dock or at the platform, but it is not like that. Uh, what are the major can say the basic elements of the food processing industry as well, where the food actually processed? That elements are very important, and in that the first very foremost element, it is nothing but the land, and where we are cultivating the different commodities like fruit and vegetable, or maybe cereal base, oil seeds, so many things we are getting from the farm itself, and land is the basic source. So as all of us we knows that what are the different adverse changes that takes place in the environment, climatic changes are takes place. So during that the responsibilities of the farmers are get increases, right? So that's why farmers are very important element in the what we can say the food industry as well as food point of view. Land is one of the very important element. So with that, just other factors also we need to understand in that socio-cultural factors. Farmers are to be associated with the farming systems, what kind of the farming practices they are conducting, that is also very important, right? Then farms economy, then whatever their economical status, that is also very important. Adoption of the technology as well, science, that is also very important, and it is also the geopolitical relationship of the overall can scenario. Then another important part, that is the whatever the produce we are getting, it will come toward the food processing industry, then it will reaching to toward the consumer, right? Whatever the produce here we are getting, it will reach to the consumer via processing from the through the food processing industry, right? So food industry has the different can say the operations like transportation is there, waste management is there, that require the water, then different energy sources and financial support. Then afterward, the whatever the things we are getting from the outside, uh, that process in the industry, then it will reach to the consumers, where the demographic element matters a lot, right? So values, knowledge, and preference. It is very important socio-economic demographic factor that is need to be checked. So whole supply chain, if you see, supply is belongs to the farming, and it is fulfilling the demand of the end consumers. Second thing I would like to highlight here, that is nothing but the everybody is curious about the public health and well-being, right? Since last few years, everybody is facing a lot of problems in and around us in society. There are so many we can say the safety concern awareness we are experiencing. Everybody is experiencing. In that, if you see the public health and well-beingness, how we can resolve this problem, because there is a very important part that is need to fulfill for the society, right? Ultimately, then this public health and well-beingness can be managed by the government officials, then private organizations, and last is the consumer, for whom we are doing this all these things. Whatever produce we are getting, that should be uh, provide the food which should be safe for the consumption. Ultimate target or ultimate aim is that. And through this chain, if you see, the government is working at the first front, right? So government is having the surveillance system. The good example is shown in the diagram itself. If you see, the if you have the good surveillance system is nothing but there is a very good control over any suspected thing is associated with the product, right? At that time, what you work, whatever your system, it should have the good traceability mechanism or tool over there. Then and then you can keep the surveillance proper, right? So surveillance system belongs to the government. It is very important. Then second thing, that is nothing but the education. Education is very important, because I have put certain examples, real life examples as well, from certain other related to the governments. They are supporting consistently for the educational institute to create an awareness about the safety concern of the food product. So education, it is another way government can spread the awareness. Then creation of the different regulation, this is very big part actually. As all of us, we know that existingly FSSAI is working, and previously 1954 uh, PFA was there. That journey I will explain later on. But again, the government is trying to enforce whatever the regulatory system in and around industry as well for the society. So this is about the role of the government. Then second stakeholder, that is nothing but the private organizations. Then what private organizations there be? The local food system, if you see, the private uh, organizations who those are dealing with the food commodities or handling the food commodities for primary processing, secondary, or maybe the tertiary processing. That what they are doing, they are producing, then processing is they are doing, then distribution activity they are managing, then accessing, and then it will reach to the consumer. Even import and export is also one of the part of this activity of the private players. Then a third component is the consumer. Then what exactly consumer need? Consumer, everybody is the consumer. Then every people, they are whenever they are dealing as a consumer, at that time you see the education is very important for the consumers, how to buy, what are the label declaration, and creating the awareness among uh, uh, even at workplace, even wherever we are going, there the guidelines should be provided. And thanks to our regulatory system itself, they have created very good system to provide the education. But it is need of time to spread the awareness among the each and every stakeholder of the country. So even decision making and market demand is to be also identified. And at the same time, as consumer right Consumer Act 1986 already it is in existence, and it was repealed in the Parliament in the year 2009. Consumer Protection Act is there. So what are the different things can get from the as a consumer? Consumers should get the safe food, then appropriate information, then right to heard, then redressed consumer education, then healthy environment, and basic needs of the rights should be get by the every consumer of the country. Then again, this is very informative part. Every consumer now, how they are deciding the safety concern as well, how they are deciding the quality of the any food produce or any electronic gadget or anything while they are purchasing or while they are buying their produce for themselves for using purpose, right? For eating purpose or maybe for using the for another purpose like electronic gadget. At that time, the different perceptions and different dimensions are comes in their mind, right? So consumer rights, consumer is always they are thinking about the supply, demand and supply. Then accordingly their need, they are finding the certain perceptions in their mind, right? Being a consumer, everybody what they're thinking or what perceptions are comes in their mind, the once they are fulfilling their need, then they are looking for the trust, and trust is depends upon the every manufacturer or every source of the food. It depends, again it is again very big part. Every individual's perceptions varies according to the acceptance or rejection of the particular produce. Then care how the safe is your produce, that is also very important. Then again the symbolic you can say the satisfaction of the consumer, and whatever the identification of quality symbol, that once you have the uh, a satisfactory result, then automatically your recognition will be uh, decided by the consumers only. Then service is might be the one of the quality criteria for someone. So that's why they are looking for the quality as they are getting their produce a product for 24 hours quickly on tip of tongue. Tip, uh, we can just click it and we'll get the service. That is also might be one of the criteria for the some masses of the population. Then again, the produce is to be get consistently. They should get the product. That is also very important. And the customer is always they are demanding much more. And manufacturers they are looking to provide the what more than their expectations. So this is the message from this slide. Then again, every year, as we are talking about the consumer laws and regulation, and that there were the different old laws and regulations about the consumer, right? So since 1914, it was started. Then in the year 1938, Product Safety Order 1972, Credit Protection 1968. These are very old laws, but now in existence. Consumer Protection Act 1986 and repealed in the year 2019. And every year in our country, the National Consumer Day is celebrated on the 21st of the December. So this is the message ki the consumer and their protection, it is very important. So this might be the basic information related to the Consumer Protection Act. Then consumer rights and their responsibilities. This is very important. This is somewhat, it has certain text matter is more in this particular slide. But if you see the safety concern, if you are looking, then consumers have to right to protection from the products and service that are hazardous to their health. Then everything, whatever the guidelines it is provided in this particular slide, that indicates that everything is going on for the uh, everything is going for the what you can say the uh, safety concern of the food produce. Safety can be interference due to the several parameters like if you see the consumers uh, there might be interferes their safety concern due to the physical barriers, then chemical, then microbiological, as well allergens nowadays included here. So there might be the several things might be interferes, but consumers have to right to fight against them. Then consumers responsibilities includes what it includes: being a consumer, use the product safety, following all the safety instructions and remaining alert for the future warnings. Means this repeatability of the problem should not be happens, because once you are accepting frequently, then there is a no way out for the society to get the solution. Then information, every as a consumer, uh, they provide from them information, they ensure all the product statements are accurate and truthful. Means the whatever the producers end, they should provide the appropriate information, then analyze and use the information about the products wisely. So being a consumer, we should get the appropriate information, and as the label reading is one of the very good source of the what we can say, that to get the appropriate information and to know about the each and everything about the your whatever the consumable food you are choosing. Choice, selection of the goods and service at fair prices. This is again very important part while you are dealing any business. At that time, the price of the produce is very important. So choose it carefully while choosing the product. Price is one of the dimension. Be heard voice in the creation of the laws and development of the goods and services. This is the consumer right, but what is the responsibility? Express the concerns to those who can help, then approach toward the whatever the helplines and sources available. Redress, it is very good to request to uh, money or other benefits as fair compensation for the company's mistake. Whenever some incidents might be happen, at that time penalty should be given to that particular manufacturer. Make the efforts to seek compensation for the wrong. Then laws and regulation are there to correct the situation. Then education, it is very good tool to improve ourselves, and in next slides we are talking about it. uh, then healthy environment, it is very big issue actually. The central government or apex bodies like the CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, and MPCB is working very hard to minimize or reduce the waste uh, from the probable reason some uh, living beings might be get affected their health. And fulfillment of the basic needs, it is one of the consumer right and their responsibility. Being a consumer also, we need to take the follow then and then this particular problem of the whatever the safety comes, right from the safety to the fulfillment of the basic needs will get fulfilled. So this is sustainable development goals. Uh, Actually, the United Nations, they have prepared very good thing about the consumers. There should not be no poverty, no indiscrimination, or zero hunger. See, these all the themes are very important, because in World Food Day also this uh, zero hunger was the theme for the World Food Day. I think it was for 17 or 18. Then good health and well-being, then health and its protection. It is when now on the priority basis. Quality education, the spreading the awareness of the about the quality and safety, it is very big task actually. And thanks to our regulatory system or mechanism, to they have taken the very good initiative uh, to educate the peoples, right? So that's why I can see the all the regulatory authorities belongs to the FSSAI, and allied apex bodies belongs to our country, or maybe the outside support we have taken, and we have initiated the very good regulatory mechanism in existing condition. So FSI prepared the good database, and few examples I have incorporated in the coming slides. Then gender equality is there. Then the clean water, it should be get to the each and every stakeholder of the country. Affordable clean energy sources, whatever the sources we are getting, it should be free from the any kind of the uh, hazardous things. Then decent work on the economic growth. This is again the backbone of the our economy. So that's why it is again the need of time to look toward it. Industry innovation and infrastructure. This is also very important because as and when need the certain, what we can say, the modification according to the need of the market, uh, global market as well as the local market, we need to proceed further. Otherwise, there might be the create the several problems because your product will be not accepted by the outside. So there might be the chances of creating certain limitations. Reduce the inequality, sustainabilities, and communities. The the equality is one of the very important factor from these uh, sustainable development goals. Then responsible consumption and production. Then it is again very important. The symbolic things are uh, gives an very good idea about what should be the reach up to the society. Climate action, the below water and life on the land protection, it is very important. Whatever the potential or upcoming things or environmental things that might be that should be protected to the each and every living being. So this is the only motto. Peace and justice and strong institutions. The leading of the institution, it is very important to create an awareness to the consumers and partnership for the goals. And now the educational institute, industries, then NGOs, and several other stakeholders, they can come together and they can work for the society to create the awareness about the safety concern of the everyone. So these are the causing factors. If you are not managing the safety concern, then at that time what will happen? If we are not able to achieve the safety, then what happens? The food poisoning is one of the very uh, highlighting thing everywhere, and different signs and symptoms, and it is associated or it is applicable for. डेस्कटॉप कुठे गेला, स्लाइड कुठे ठेवले, स्लाइड कुठे. Yeah. Sorry for inconvenience. May I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Thank you. Just I'm talking about the due to the improper food getting the the major issue about the food poisoning, and there are many more incidents we have heard and gone through it. Even personally also we have experienced a lot of food poisoning issues, and these are the certain symptoms which are exhibits while whenever we are suffering from the any kind of the food poisoning. And in that, the safety concern again, there is another important, very important concern. Uh, that is nothing but the food allergen. The food allergen, it is very big issue actually, and uh, examples are the marine products is there, egg is there, and many more of the other examples. Very specific cereal grains are also they are having the certain allergens, like wheat is having the allergen like it is responsible for the celiac disease and many more allergens. Uh, then uh, then uh, what is the then food safety mechanism which is ruled by our country? That is very important. Uh, the every food business operator should uh, follow the whatever the FSI rules and regulation right now existingly it is used in that. Then what is the role of the FSSI, to whom they are guiding? The manufacturers, then processing units, small or big units, then who those are in the business, B2B business, or just they are packing, they are also need to take the license or registration. Then who those are taking the commodities or raw materials and stored it, for them also it is mandatory. Transportations, distribution system or supply chain peoples, then importers, catering services, sales, ingredients, and additives. So this is the various areas where the Food Safety Standards Authority of India actually they are providing the guidelines. Then the food safety, then uh, another part, that is the how we can connect the food safety toward the uh, each and every stakeholder. In that, consumer is the one of the major stakeholder. Existence of the new regulation, it is very important. Then media influence, the spreading the awareness among the consumer through the media. There are a lot of ambassadors hired by the regulation system itself, and they are managing the creating the awareness among the society about the food safety. Food processing itself, it has the mechanism to reduce down the whatever the potential defects might be associated with the produce, that can be managed through the food processing. Global food supply, it is again one of the very big issue, because for domestic market it doesn't have the much more issue about the safety. But whenever we are facing the international market, at that time definitely the international market players, they are having the different demands about their safety concern about the fresh commodities or processed commodities. So that's why global food supply, whatever the regulations that need to be managed, it is in a very judicious manner. New threats, whatever the potential things like allergen or maybe the radio frequencies, there are so many new threats are also coming in picture nowadays. So that's why at that point also we have to keep in mind, and always we can say the consumers are expected much more. They are having their demands consistently, they are demanding or something new from the manufacturer. So always manufacturer is looking to satisfy their consumer as well, more provide them more than their satisfaction. So this is the safety concern. Then about food safety, I'm not I will not talk much more about it because again, food safety is the concern of the everyone's. The implementation practices and procedures right from the factory and future consumer. Means every time just we have to look into the matters where the things we have to manage. Uh, Things we have to manage from right from the basic part. Basic part means the which is the basic source of the your information, that is very important. Uh, Sorry for disturbance. May I audible to all, please? Hello, hello. Yeah, please let me know. May I audible to all? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry.
You are.
Uh, so if you see the safety concern, it is very important part, and from where it is begins, that is very important. The backward traceability, it is one of the very important tool to get the safe food to the each and everyone. So this is the intention. And another very important and interesting thing I would like to share here, the journey of the food safety in India. When it was started, it is not new thing because since ancient time period, the journey for the food safety in India was initiated. In the year 1960, an idea was born, and at that time, the legislation was just formulated and it was focused for the adulteration only. And up to 1954, the same intention was there. The Prevention of Food Adulteration Act was working, and adulteration is only the focus. Then later on, if you see the review of the multiple laws, there were the different orders was there earlier in earlier act. So that's why you see the time was initiated in the 2004. The different orders are now. Uh,
Dr. Lenin, please, Dr. SM Locandisa, please hold
yeah,
on a second. Dr. Lenin, Dr. Lenin,
Yes, sir.
please mute yourself, sir.
Yes, sir.
All respected participants, it's my humble request to all you that please, during the attending this wonderful lecture, please mute yourself. If you want to ask any question related to this FDP, then please you can unmute yourself. Okay. Yes. Dr. SM Lokand, sir, extremely sorry, sir. You can continue the same.
yeah, no issue.
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine, Vaibhav. If you see, the journey was very tough up to the 2004. It was very difficult to manage the regulatory system in a proper manner. But great visionary expertise, they have thought ki, we should change our regulation. And in the year 2004, the slowly the whatever the different orders and different laws were there, they try to connect together. And in the year 2006, in the parliament itself, the act was passed by the authorities. And then in the year 2008, it was the institutional framework of created. Then initially, the beginning of the FSSI was started in the year 2008, and FSSI thought, and the authority, they have prepared the very good draft, and they thought ki, with the help of the 8 scientific panel as well, with the help of the formulation of the science-based standards. This was the intention. Due to and with that intention, they have initiated the things. And later on in the year, you can say that everybody knows 5th August in the year 2011, actually the act was implemented in the industry. And from that time period, now we can say now we are observing everywhere ki the Food Safety Standards Authority of India's license number, FSSAI license number, is observed on each and every product packaging material, right? So food safety and standards, rules and regulations was actually enforced or enacted in the year 2011. But again, the consistent development is there. There is a lot of scope because we are looking toward the international market as well, outside countries standards and specifications. During that, what happens ki, again, the building the creditability, it is very important. Means what new things we should get formulated, that is very important. First, and what they thought ki, what are the gaps in the existing regulatory system, that is very important. And as everybody knows that ki safety concern, whenever you would like to resolve this problem, at that time you need to have the state of art laboratory support. And how should be the laboratory, that is again questionable. Everybody knows because we all of us belongs to the so many renowned educational institutes, and laboratory support, it is very important. And what methodology is to be used and what ideal instrumentation facility is to be have by that particular analytical laboratory, that is again very important. And National Board of Accreditation for uh, food testing and calibration, it is working consistently. So Nabl accreditation, how it is important, that everybody knows. But thing is get started in the year 2012 itself. Nabl accreditation made mandate, and so that's why they have formulated the one laboratory which is situated at Ghaziabad. It is one of the referral laboratory. They have renovated. Earlier it was the referral laboratory. There were 4 referral laboratories in that: Ghaziabad, Kolkata, Chennai and Mysore. These are the 4. These were the 4, but Ghaziabad was again declared as a referral laboratory. So this building the creditability, it is comes under the development of the laboratory support or analytical infrastructure. Then again later on, again you can see the enhancing the visibility. Then safety, how we can visualize it, that is also matters. So FSSAI, what they have done, the licensing and registration system, inclusion of the IT tools, or the every food business operator should get easy access to manage their licensing or registration process, or they should get familiar with the system. So ultimately they can save their monies, they can save their time, and sitting at their location, they can manage the each and everything. So that point of view, they have initiated the license and registration portal. At their own end, they can initiate it. Then again consistently they are not stop, and consistently they are working and adopting the collaborative multi stakeholders approach. That is also very important. They have initiated the training program like FOSTEC training, right? Food safety training programs organized for the so many stakeholders. Again, each and every food business operator should get uh, educate with the trainings, right? So this food FOSTAC initiative, it is very good initiative actually, and it is very important for so many FBOs, then different state vendors, hotel industries, catering industries, and so many other people. So adoption of the collaborative multitasking holders approach, that was also very uh, game changing for creating the awareness among the society about the food safety. Then again in the year 2017, ensuring the transparency, consistency, and predictability, that is very important. Again here the inclusion of the IT tool, it was the again very informative thing. It is there. So that's why again the phosphorus like portals they have initiated, and they are improving or upgrading consistently them to get familiar with the system. That was the only intention. Then bringing the vision alive, one nation, one food law. This was the again decision it was very because what happens ki, if you have the discrete food regulatory system, then you will face the so many problems in the international market. So that's why the unanimously what regulators or authorities they thought ki we should have the uh, one nation one food law, and in the year 2008 there was so many good inputs are provided, and authority they have focused the nutrition was the focus, and with that intention you can see the so many things are coming in picture, like Swasth Bharat Yatra, Eat Right India, and so many. I'm much more talking in the next slide about the what was the the role of the in the activities which was conducted in the year 2018.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Continue.
Anybody would like to ask something?
No, sir. You continue. Continue, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. And this is another very important part. Ki whenever we are what we whenever we are ruling anything in the our country, at that time you can see the uh, how should improve the food safety system of our country. Without the system or without the support of the every stakeholder, including government agencies and different outreach programs for the society, it is not possible. So you see, improving the food safety, the foremost thing and very important thing is the enforcement of the regulation, stronger regulation of the any of the country. It is the uh, backbone of the system, right? So stronger regulation system like FSSI in our country, it is working. Then another is the stringent enforcement of the regulations at ground level. This is not coming in picture in that much effective way. I'm not talking it is not completely, it is not, but it is coming, but it is very at the very slow rate. So that's why stringent enforcement of the regulation, but it might be the part of the system due to the unavailability of the support system, it might be not exhibited, but improving the system, regulatory system, that is very important, and enforcement judiciously, it is very important, and food and drug is working at state level and FSI is working at center level. Then as I'm talking about, already talked about the good laboratory support, it is highly essential part of the any of the uh, leading regulatory system, right? So it is very important to familiar with the good laboratory support. Actually, the food testing, it is very big issue, and already I have focused about it and what should be the ideal. And because many more of us belongs to the uh, academic and research institutes or maybe the industry professionals, everybody knows about. I'm not going in detail, but better laboratory support is one of the uh, very essential and mandatory part. And so that's why government also, they have targeted some commodities and they have made the mandate for them ki they should have the analytical infrastructure at their in-house only. They should not depends upon every time depends upon the external agencies. So that's why they have made the mandate to associate with the good laboratory practices, and they have to conduct the analytical practices on a regular basis at their own location. For example, dairy is there, milk is there, and so many other commodities. They need to have the in-house analytical infrastructure at their own location. And another thing, that is training, as all of us, we have enrolled for the faculty development program to train ourselves. So FOSTAC, it is very good initiative, that is food safety training and certification program. And this program is mandatory for state vendors, big manufacturers, and so many. And I'm talking about in the next slide about in detail about the first role of the FOSTAC training to the food business operators. Uh, Now the very important and major part I'm going to highlight in this particular slide is where the Eat Right India, it is one of the, what we can say, the revolutionary thing of the our country. Actually, up to the in the journey itself, we have talked about role of the how the food safety is get started from the beginning to the up to the 2018. In the year 18, the Eat Right campaign was initiated, and the motto was that target was the food businesses, consumers, as well government organizations. So this food safety is shared responsibility of each and every stakeholder of the our country. So this is the punchline of the Eat Right India. And in that, there are a lot of documentation they have created for each and every stakeholder of the country. So food safety is the everyone's business, and at every step we have to manage the food safety in a very proper manner. This was the intention, and food safety came into the existence. So this is the another example, consumer trust building and new trends initiated. As in the year 2018, we found some gaps in our system. How we should initiate the food safety. Now, still we have not reached in the industry. Just we are focusing the society, for society, how we should create the awareness among the society. That is very important, because there is no any agency or there is no any direct channel to initiate it. But FSSI itself, they have created the very good database in the form of audio, video, and literature books they have prepared, and they have initiated one very good initiative, that is nothing but the Eat Right India. And as a part of the Eat Right India, it is one of the movement of the our country they have initiated with the help of cyclothon. From the various regions of our country, they have organized the cyclothon throughout the country, and they have provided the batons to the every state representatives, and they have to cycle from the various region, and they have to reach to the Delhi, and there they will declare yeah, and throughout the state they are trying to creating the awareness about the what we should consume, and how much quantity is to be consumed. So like the brand ambassadors, like from the film industry, they have also initiated or taken the initiative to campaign the things like आज से थोड़ा eat right movement they have included the consumption of salt or maybe the oil or sugar, it should be controlled by the everyone. That was the punchline of the Swasth Bharat Yatra. And at the same time, uh, once the peoples they are observing through the certain social activities, definitely there is a very good impact over the society. So that was the intention. So that's why the cyclothon was one of the or Swasth Bharat Yatra, it is one of the good initiation. Then consumer building and new trends initiated. Then what exactly the food safety they have done? Now we can see this is actually very informative diagram. Actually, the color indication of this diagram gives an very good information to everyone. You see the different colors are get segregated here. The yellow color represent the cereal and pulses to consumer in adequate quantity. Means what is the quantity or share of the cereal and pulses in our consumption pattern, that indicated here. Then green is indicated here, the green fruit and vegetables to be consumed by the consumer by the every individual. The share of the green fruit and vegetable, it is again having the very crucial role. Then again the third quantity, that is milk and milk product. This blue color is indicates that the consumption of the milk and milk product in our diet, or share of the milk and milk product in the diet. Then fourth is the brown, the meat and fish, poultry products and their products to be included in our diet. This is the fourth, and fifth is the indicated with the purple color, food and drinks high in fat, sugar and salt to be taken sparingly. Means it, what it indicates, the control of the consumption of the product in our what we can say, the in our diet, that is managed in a very precisely. This was the intention, because see the uh, the everything is required in our diet to make it a balanced diet, but what should be the quantity, then again it is questionable. So that's why the initiatives like Jaivik Bharat, the what is organic percentage of your produce, that is also important. And recently the vegan is one of the, can say, the everybody might be associated with that. The now the animal source is get separated from the this they are declaring now the animal source in a different manner, and only the plant-based material it is now indicated with the help of vegan. Then again you can see the whatever the color indications of this particular diagram, the and typically as the share is indicated here in a similar manner, what they have done, the FSSAI, they have initiated only the few of the commodities. The fortification initiative, it is one of the very good initiative, and in coming days, very soon it will comes in picture in reality, and already work is get started, and targeted commodities are nothing but the oil is there. Then in oil, vitamin A and D is the targeted compound. Then milk, A and D. Then salt is iron and iodine enrichment. Then wheat is get enriched with the iron, folic acid, and vitamin B12. Rice is targeted for the iron, folic acid, and vitamin B12. So likewise, this is again one of the very good and very informative initiative made by the FSSI itself. Then again, actually, it is very big part. Ki Eat Right movement. It is very useful for each and everyone. So the FSSAI, they have initiated several initiatives for the uh, at different fronts, right? So Eat Right movement, if you see, it is initiated here, and government programs as well, civil partners as well, NGOs and corporators. These are the various stakeholders they have targeted here. And in government, if you see the Ayushman Bharat like or Poshan Abhiyan, Eat Right Toolkit, then safe and nutritious food at home, at school, at hospital, and it is coming to the food fortification. Then again, the what is the role of the other stakeholders like civil society and NGOs and CSR? Whatever CSR that we are getting, that can be diverted toward the integration with the existing marketing channels, specific implementation of the projects, then Eat Right movement and support to the Eat Right movement, and all the SNF initiatives, that is the everybody should get the safe and nutritious food for their consumption. So this is again, the initiatives can be categorized on broadly on the basis of the supply side initiatives, because we should have certain criterias to get categorized these initiatives. How it should be get categorized, that was again the big challenge. But again, that was also get sought out very effective manner. And with that intention, see the supply side initiatives. What supply side is included? Supply side is get included. Fast track training is the one of the mandate in the supply side initiatives, training and capacity building, benchmarking and certification schemes for the several spiritual places like Bhog project was there. The big temples like Sai Baba, then even in Mumbai also, Siddhi Vinayak was also certified by the Bhog with the help of Bhog project. Then Clean Street Hub, it is another very good initiative. Then Eat Right stations, different Mumbai's station, it is one of the certified station by the Eat Right with the help of the FSI officials. Then clean and fresh food, that is for fresh produce also it is get mandate. Then hygiene rating for the different locations and places, like restaurants are there, canteens are there, for meat shops, sweet shops, and bakery and confectionery shops, etc. So supply, these are comes under the supply side initiative, where the actually the food is get served, especially the right from the spiritual places to the so many other outlets also. Then demand side initiatives, it can be included. It is again the actually very important and big task. So demand side initiatives included the building consumer awareness, and this consumer awareness from whom, for whom, the different locations, and for the schools and stations, etc. Then addressing the adulteration, the combating the adulteration. This is again very challenging thing. So that's why adulteration prevention, it is managed with the help of the one of the experiment. It is learned, ruled by the FSSI, and that the vehicle, it is food safety on vehicles wheels. It is one of the initiative, and that book is made for that, to provide the guidelines to detect the adulteration in the food commodities. Then food safety magic box, it is another very good example. Consumer connect with the guidance and notes, and uh, various uh, mythbusters are with us, that also they have tried to remove from the each and every stakeholder of the society. It means that act is very useful for each and everyone. Then again, one targeted thing, that is nothing but the fortification. I'm not talking much more about it because already I have talked. So demand side supply, demand side initiative, it is very important, and it is very useful for not only for the industry, but whatever the each and everybody is who those are having the correlation of the food, those can apply this knowledge uh, for their knowledge point of view, or maybe the creating the awareness. Then again, the another is the sustainability initiative. In that, what they have done, the environment protection, it is one of the thing, and to get the safe food to the everyone, that was the motto. So Javik Bharat, the how much percentage of the your organic, it is indicated with the help of the Javik Bharat logo, right? Means how much organic percentage of your commodity, that only you can mention on the label, that is the mandate. So that's why Javik Bharat is working for that. Save food and share food. Many you can say the celebrations in that, what happens, whatever the food serving in the various festivals, or at various programs, or maybe in the canteen hotels, whatever the food is get left, that should not be thrown anywhere. That can be shared with the help of certain NGOs, and to distribute it through the proper channel to the needy person. So this was the one of the sustainability initiative created by the FSSI itself, and it is very nice to see whatever the food is get produced, and it should not be get waste anywhere. Rather wasting it, it should be provide to the needy person. So save food and share the food. Safe and sustainable packaging in the food and beverage sector, this is again very big issue. Actually, the so many the organizations, they are working on the packaging, and among the participants, you might have the awareness about the role of the packaging with the food. So biodegradability and uh, recycling is one of the challenging thing about the packaging material. Then RUCO is another movement. Reuse cooking oil. What should we do about the this? Again, this is very challenging thing, because you can say the how big is the unorganized part of our country? Where are the various outlets where how many times we are using the oil, there is no any control. So reused cooking oil, how many times it is to be used, and what to do about the whatever the oil is left after frying the fried product in a several times, right? So that's why the thing is going on right now. to reuse it for the fuel making. It was the one of the attempt. It is going on, but see to it that about the its feasibility. Then again, what I'm talking about, the whatever this initiative, it is not working for the single stakeholder. So eat right initiatives are working for the so many fronts. In that hygiene rating, it is one of the very important hygiene rating. It is essential for the clean street food hubs, clean fresh and food vegetable market. Project Bhog is one of the example, spiritual places like temples, already I have explained. Then eat right stations, different stations in coming days, it is the one of the target. So this hygiene rating for these places, it is very important. Uh, so second important place is that the sorry, the cluster certification, it is comes under this clean street and food vegetable bhog and eat right station. But hygiene rating, it is the essential for the third party hygiene rating audits and checklist. Restaurants and catering establishments, meat shop, sweet bakery shop and other retail shops, they have to go through the hygiene rating by the appropriate experts. And uh, third important initiative, that is how we can get understand combating the adulteration, it is very challenging thing. So that's why again intentionally I have taken this screenshot, and I'm trying to explain you the food safety on the wheel, it is one of the example already I have explained. Dart book, it is another source of information, very good informative booklet they have created. Food safety magic box, that is also very handy and quick result giving toolkit, can help to combat against the adulteration. So just again, these are the few of the things are repeating, but you can see the basic is required for the fast track training. Again, I'm focusing much more on the so toward the safety concern toward the society. So basic fast track training is essential for the street vendors, as well for the catering services, retail distributors, storage and manufacturers. So basic is required for both of the channels. And basic again kept for the street vendors only, but again advanced is applicable for the catering, retail, then storage and transportation, right? So fast track training, it is one of the very good initiative. Then again special training, the segment specific training, it is very important, because you can say the whatever the listed commodities with the help of the pink color, special training, why it is needed. So milk and milk product, meat and meat product, fish and packaged drinking water, oil and bakery, all these segments, if you look toward these commodities, they are highly susceptible for the spoilage. They doesn't have the much more shelf life. So that's why these are required the very special training to create an awareness how to handle it and how to manage it. So special training is required for these segments. Then safe and nutritious resources at home, at school, places, and nutrition questions. These are the various purposes of the conducting the food safety uh, training is conducted for the various stakeholders. So this is a display board. It will highlight the two areas, where one is the street vendor. For street vendors, there are 12 things are guided by the FSSAI. How to manage your location, how it is to be managed, and this diagrammatic representation and these guidelines will definitely help while we are consuming the food at the street. We are purchasing the food from the street vendors. Every street vendor need to be aware while handling the food product or serving the food product, they have to follow these hygiene rules, hygiene code rules for their location. Then definitely the revolution might be observed in the society. Then safe food for the then again this another what we can say, the rule is made for the vegetable retailers. This is the hugely consumed commodity and highly susceptible for the spoilage. So that's why intentionally I have taken the only two things here, but other outlets also they have provided a lot of guidelines and regulation rules and regulations for managing the safety at their door, right? For fruit and vegetable also they have provided a lot of guidelines. uh, so I think it is much sufficient to understand. Then making school, colleges, and other campuses safe and hygienic and nutritious. Uh, Mumbai Central, it is one of the example. Then Eat Right campus, schools and colleges. Project Bhog, already I have explained it. Now the label, it is one of the very information. Whatever the labels of the product, it should be self-explanatory. It should be highlight each and everything, list of ingredient, daily value, instruction for use, then content like vitamins, minerals, carbohydrate, fats, proteins, and nutritional facts, and recommended doses for the according to the needy persons, right? So in that, again, the literature is prepared for the so many needy persons, in that for the uh, uh, guideline for the safe and nutritious food at home, how it should be managed, handbook on the diet for the disease, those are suffering from the different diseases. Then combating adulteration, already reference of the dark book, already I have mentioned that. So creating the awareness among the children, there is a dedicated book is available with the FSSI itself. But then again, the role of the this food safety wheel and creating the awareness. Then safe and nutritious food, it is again shared responsibility of each and every citizen of the our country. Uh, Again, a similar thing is get repeated here. The eat well plate, the contribution of the each and every type of the food in our plate, how it should be served to or represent to each and every stakeholder. That is very important. Labeling, about labeling, the label reading is very essential for each and every uh, stakeholder of our country or every being and consumer. The label should have the self-explanatory power, then automatically you can get aware or create the awareness. So this is the one of the sample where you can read the all the label declarations very carefully. So what should be the ideal? It is indicated with the green color, and what is the wrong thing, it is indicated with the help of the diagrammatic representation. Then again, about the literature, the hygiene rating for the various places. If you are having the good infrastructural facilities, or you are adopting all the hygienic practices at your location, then definitely the your recognition will be done. For various places like school is there, home is there, workplaces are the target areas of the FSSI to make it hygienic. No food wastage, segregate in a proper way and segregate in a proper container, and then and then we can proceed further. So this is, again, I'm not going in detail about this particular game. This is like the snake and ladder. This game. Likewise, the if you are not satisfying, it is starting, and in between, wherever you are found the anything wrong, then again you have to come toward the rejection, or you have to send back it, and again you have to satisfy all the conditions likewise. So pathway to the safe food, it is very informative game actually. The due to the time constraint, we are unable to now explain it right now, but it is very informative, or it is very good for the understanding point of view. And you can see there are different steps or pathway to how we can reach up to the getting the safe food. There are different steps, and what should be the ideal, and if you are satisfying, and then you can proceed further. Otherwise you are not satisfying, again you
Uh, Sir, Participant,
I
the
think you have to.
subject is too big. Sir has the vast knowledge, and we have the he has the much information regarding this one. So let us have the interaction with the resource person. So if you have any queries, so you can ask. Sir will be available with you. He will give the information, or he will guide you. So if anyone has any question, please ask. So that
Rana
next
sir,
lecture will be started by 12:30 p.m.
sir, last 2 minutes only.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Continue,
Okay.
continue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I will conclude it. So, what is my intention? The majority of us, we are belongs to the academic fraternity. So, what I have means we have done at our own location that I'm going to share with you. IIT Gandhipur already they have certified their location with Eat Right, means they are got their means outlets with the help of Eat Right campus. What we have done is one. Eat Right movement Eat Right movement we have started for our own locations, and these are the some of the some Olympics for the this event. But we have initiated it, and also the Swasth Bharat. They have visited to our university, and we have conducted this activity at our university campus itself, and delivered the awareness by the doctor about the consumption of the food product. Then again, what can we do for with the students? Students to society outreach activities. This also we can adopt for our own locations, because majority of, as I have mentioned, belongs to the academicians. They can take the maximum advantage, but not only for the academician, others peoples too can take the advantage of this kind of the activities we can conduct at our own locations, and we can reach. And this is the statistical data. Still, the 659 campuses are awarded with the help of Eat Right campaigning for the rating. And educational institute, it is one of the targeted. So let's hold our hands with the society together to ensure the everyone's health and well-being. Thank you very much for patient listening. And once again, I'm thank you very much for each and everyone. In spite of several times the disturbance was there, and thank you very much for listening me patiently. Uh, so I will stop here, and thank you for given an opportunity to me to share my views. Now the topic is
Thank-
open for question and answer.
Yes. Thank you very much to the respected Dr. S.M. Locandisa for the valuable guidance related to the food safety and all the uh, food technology related quality standards. Now we are going to begin answering the question. There is one question in the chat box. Mr. Sudhir sir is asking one question, and the question is: explain about any annual regulations and guidelines, if any, related to the uh, what, sir? So this, sir, you can unmute yourself and please tell related to what. Sudhir, sir, are you there?
Wait, I'm not
Yes.
not getting the question actually. If
Yes.
even though if
Yes,
you
I'm also not getting the question because please
even though
explain about any annual regulations of guidelines related to what. That's why I'm asking the same to the part that Sudhir, sir.
okay, even though due to the time constraint, if I unable
Yes,
to reply
I
them,
will move to the.
definitely in future also they can meet, because we are for next 3 days we are together, so it
Yes,
is
yes,
not problem ki
yes,
spontaneously even unable to reply them, definitely we will try to connect them.
yes. The second question is: do we have any regulations from the FSSI related to junk food consumption by school children or adults?
Yeah, already the regulation is made and several guidelines. I'm not recalling the exact the in which book the junk food consumption and the regulation, but definitely there is a regulation made for the school and in campus school, especially to consumption about the junk foods.
Yes, and the next question is from the Dr. Mohan Kumar sir is: how one can become an LRPS.
Sorry,
How one can become NLRPS?
NLRPS.
RPS.
Sir, can I get the full form of it?
Dr. Mohan sir, are you there? National level resource
National
person.
level
Yes,
resource persons.
resource person.
But for whom? For which organization they would like to become a
Government, yes, government or a private. FSSI, okay, yes, FSSI.
for FSSI? For FSSI, they can connect with the activities like Eat Right itself, right? So as we have approach to the FSSI for coming to our location, you can write them and you can become a nodal officer from your organization. You can approach to the FSSI and you can write some email or you can directly visit to the FSSI and you can call them. They definitely